Hi, I'm Art Nielsen. I'm a psychiatrist, psychoanalyst, and couple therapist in Chicago. I'm also a clinical associate professor of psychiatry at Northwestern's Medical School, and I'm on the faculty at the Chicago Institute for Psychoanalysis and the Family Institute at Northwestern. And I really enjoy doing couple therapy, and I'm here to tell you about a paper that I've written that's based on 40 years of working with couples, supervising in the field, reading the literature. The title of my paper is From Couple Therapy 1.0 to a Comprehensive Model, a roadmap for sequencing and integrating systemic, psychodynamic, and behavioral interventions. Now that's kind of a mouthful, but what I thought I'd do is just give you a sense of the background, where this came from. So I started doing couple therapy at Yale when I was a psychiatry resident in 1975. And I didn't know what I was doing, but I was excited to be able to do it. It made lots of sense to me to meet conjointly with people. This fit with lessons that I'd taken before in piano. I'd taken lots of piano lessons and tennis lessons, where it wasn't enough just to talk about what you did. You had to show the teacher or the coach what you did, and this made a lot of sense to me. So I call this model, this conjoint talk to each other model, couple therapy 1.0, and we build on it by adding upgrades that give it more power. The first upgrade for me came from my psychoanalytic training, where I learned the importance of underlying issues, especially hopes and fears and defenses against those, that when I focused on those rather than the surface issues couples were fighting about, I did much better. The second source of upgrades came from Tavistock group relations conferences that I attended as kind of a psychoanalysis of groups, where you could see that very well-meaning, intelligent, psychologically minded people would essentially go nuts and regress as a function of group anxiety. And I feel the same way about couples in the two-person group, that a lot of the maladaptive behavior is an emergent property of the group. I also learned that when I studied at the Philadelphia Child Guidance Clinic and learned other systemic concepts. The final influence on me was that after a bunch of years of treating couples and feeling that many of them came to me too late or were clueless, I, along with a colleague of mine, a friend of mine, Bill Pinsoff, the CEO of the Family Institute, we designed a course for undergraduates at Northwestern called Marriage 101 to teach undergraduates what we thought they needed to know to make for better success in marriage. And in the process, I learned lots of the behavioral literature on how to work with couples and teaching them speaking and listening rules, problem solving, timeouts, that sort of thing. So then I put all of these together, and I have them written about it. I've written about this extensively in my book, which is called A Roadmap for Couple Therapy. And this paper is kind of the Spark Notes or the Cliff Notes of that book. So in this paper, I discuss these three approaches and show how they can be integrated. I use a extensive detailed case to illustrate it, and I diagram how the interventions can be sequenced and integrated. At the end of the paper, I also compare and contrast my approach to those of other authors that have made an attempt to integrate approaches to couple therapy. I hope I've piqued your interest and that you'll check out my paper in Family Process. Thanks.